I've been stapleted with dyslexia since I was 6 years old. So it's something I've known for most of my life within education. Having coming back to university as a mature student, I was 26 when I started at RGU. I'd already knew of what to apply for. So I had the DSA support, which supplied me with a laptop with software to help me write reports on. Throughout my time at RGU, I used various resources they had available to me, from using scribes to write stuff in exams in the later years as they got more word-based rather than just calculation-based. I could always go see the lectures if I was struggling with work and getting around stuff, but mostly I'd use the exam support and the extra time to help with exams and my laptop that had all the software on it. Dyslexia Life Hacks is a website that I created as I was made redundant, which has culminated a load of hacks that I've come up with across the years into short individual hacks that are easy to read and digest, particularly if you're a dyslexic person. It's kind of written for the younger me, really. The seed of the idea come for it when I was on my graduate scheme. Me and a project manager were sat in a meeting room with Microsoft Project up on the projector, and we're both dyslexic. We can't spell a word that we need to put in the project plan, and me, without thinking, I asked my phone's personal assistant to spell the word for me, which it diligently does, letter for letter. He looks at me and is like, I didn't even know that they did that. Oh yeah, it's something I do without thinking. It's a bit tricky in the middle of a busy office, but seeing as we're in a meeting room, it's fine. He comes back to me the following day and tells me that his daughter was well impressed with that. She has quite severe learning difficulties and loves the fact she can ask her phone how to spell stuff. And that was kind of where the seed was lodged. As I went through my career, you end up finding quite a few dyslexic people in STEM, and they have little hacks, and we sort of end up trading notes, so to speak. I did not know you could use a synonym checker on Microsoft programs to check whether you've used the right word. And this got me thinking I'd keep them as a note on my phone. And then, having been made redundant, it seemed like the ideal time to do something rather than just looking at applying for jobs or sitting at home. So I put the website together really to help more people, and that's really where the website come from. I think quite a lot of engineers are neurodiverse, so that's the most obvious connection. But being creative really helps at being a design engineer. Thinking outside the box and thinking how to do stuff is something that's really useful skill as a design engineer. And I also quite like learning new things. So actually building a website, I used kind of engineering methodology as a design engineer to make sure it works, proof testing it, benchmarking it, checking what other people do. I used the Disney website and the Apple website to make sure the interface looked the same and people could work through it, which is something you do at Triumph, where you'll ride competitors' bikes to see if what their strengths and weaknesses are compared to the bike you're designing. It filters through your sort of head and brain and then comes back out, in this case, as a website. So there's a lot of crossovers between the two. I think that is part of it. Having a strong analytical style does help. However, I think it's more the creativity. Having been dyslexic from such a young age, I've spent most of my educational life finding ways or alternative routes to get the reports done or you do the schoolwork as expected. It's also something that pours into engineering. You'll find there's bits on bikes that I've thought of outside of the box. It's just something I quite enjoy doing. So certainly the two cross a lot. Since that interview, I've actually launched my own podcast called the Dyslexia Life Hacks Show, which is available on all podcast platforms. You can go to dyslexialifehacks.com/podcast if you want to look for more. This podcast is really helping get it in front, the Dyslexia Life Hacks idea in front of more people who will benefit from it. I'm always looking for new ways to get the idea of the website out to more people, so more dyslexics can find small little hacks that signpost them to bigger things. I'm talking at an IMechE event in November, as well as taking part in the Dyslexia Show, which is being held at the NEC in Birmingham in March next year. It feels like the website's been positively received. I get some feedback. People add me on LinkedIn and say they really enjoy the concept. I also get a lot of feedback from the dyslexia world as other people approach me and ask me if I'd like to join in to various webinars and stuff. How do I see it evolving? The sky's the limit, really. As I say, it's written for sort of the younger me, so every time I hear a hack, whether it's on my own podcast or somebody else's, I'll add it to it. I think it might evolve as I end up doing more and more in the neurodiversity world in terms of just sharing more things that I'm aware of. There is still a lot to be found out, and there's a lot of good people doing lots of good coaching things out there that I just don't know about. Keep going. Your unconventional career path feeds into your knowledge and experience and comes out in the things you create. Having an unconventional career path also allows you to have an alternative view on how the world works, which can be really useful when building a diverse team. There's nothing wrong with doing things differently to what everybody expects, and actually sometimes it can be an advantage.